Well, hello folks. Welcome to this episode of Profit Easy One. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I laid the computer and my first aid kit out on the table. I was going to do a video there. I just hadn't felt like it. And I got into the food in my bag. This is like a continuation of my 70-pound inch bag, which I have another video. I haven't uploaded it yet. Hopefully I'll get that and this one uploaded tomorrow. But I did reduce the weight so far. At that point was 4 pounds 7 ounces. Now today I found this extra trash bag stuffed way in the back of my pack where I didn't expect it. So that's out now because I already have one that all my gear goes inside of my bag, and in my waist pouch I have a very large heavy duty one. So I don't need that extra one. And I also found 100 feet of paracord I didn't know I had that was stashed in the same place, which was really good. Now, before I was a little concerned about what I had just under 200 feet. I have 100 feet of 1100 paracord, which is much heavier, and actually probably about 200 feet. Yeah, I had close to 200 feet of paracord. Now I got an extra 100 that I found. And I found a fantastic net that I saved from some building materials that could be used to make fish nets or bird nets, even for bird traps or for catching insects. I think it's somewhere around, I got at least 30 feet of it, and it's probably 2 feet across. So yeah, and it's all like nylon, and I have it packed away. I'm not pulling that out. Sometime when I go through the whole bag, maybe. What I'm doing now is going through the food. Like I said, when I last weighed it at one point, I had 15 pounds 3 ounces of food. And I do get in and out of it from time to time. I have added things that I'm not sure what it weighs now. I will know after I do this video. You probably won't know it, but I'll have to measure it a little at a time. Now, I did just take out a couple of oatmeal packets because I was going to make some with some fresh apples in it. But speaking of that, let me show you something. I'm always, my food stuff's gone through a lot of changes. I'll show you what I carry now. But I've gone through a lot of changes. And now here's something I just wanted to point out to you. These are both 2 boxes of these instant oatmeal packets. Now, when you look at them, these things are fortified. If you get regular oats, which I do have, and I like to use these up and maybe put some bulk oats in my kit instead of all these package things. But I have a lot of them in there now. Like I said, I use them from time to time and replace them with fresher ones. But here you got, I'm going to try to look at these labels here. All right. This one here, when it comes to, let's see, vitamin D, calcium, got 0, iron, you got 6%, and what is this? Oh, potassium. You got 2%. So that's your major vitamins on those. Now with this one here, you get vitamin A 20%, calcium 10%, iron 20%, vitamin D 20%, thiamine 20%, riboflavin 20%, niacin 20%, vitamin B6 20%, folate 20%. Is that 20? Yeah. Phosphorus 15%. And magnesium 15%. So you see this one's loaded with vitamins compared to this. And I also did compare sugars and all of that, and they do vary. And another thing that varies about these, some of them are serving size maybe 1 ounce, and some it may be 1.25 ounces. So check it out so that you get good nutritional preps to take with you. And while I'm leaning here and got this here, we're going to get to this in a minute because I found I have too much of it. I like my coffee. So, and I can't take some fresh milk with me. So, I've been looking really for powdered milk. And shoot, the places I've looked, I haven't seen it, but I'm always seeing the coffee creamer things. So, I tried one that may have been made by this company here. And it was supposed to be a vanilla flavoring. And it called for 3 tablespoons. And even so, you had to put in a whole lot to get some flavoring, and it really didn't seem to be sweetening much. So then I went out and got this. Oh, I thought this was actually carnation, but no, this is Pharrell. Now, this was really good. 1 teaspoon, not 3 tablespoons, 1 teaspoon. It sweetens, it lightens, and it flavors it. And then I happened to go out and I was going to maybe pick up some more of this. I just like having this, well, to put with my bug out bag and in case I'm out of milk because I like to have my coffee. So I got this. Now, I almost bought a big bottle like this from these people. See, it's much bigger than this. It was cheap, like at a dollar store. But the other one called for 3 tablespoons. This one called for 1 teaspoon, I think. But I put like 3 teaspoons in the other day. I kept saying, man, I don't taste the vanilla, and it's not getting sweeter. Well, apparently, this is the original. It didn't have the vanilla flavoring, and it doesn't really sweeten it. But it does, yeah, it does give it a little bit of a milky taste and definitely lightens it. But I'm going to stick to the good one, which I have here. So now, let me just start showing you some of what I got here. I just opened the whole thing up. What I had is the whole bottom, my sleeping bag compartment. That was all food. Because like I say, you got to have food to survive out there. This is an inch bag. I ain't never coming home. Man, doo-doo's hit the fan. You can't trust. You got gangs everywhere, and you got government people everywhere, and they're all out to get you. All right, so here's a Nutri-Grain bar. If you saw in the last video, I took that other one. I haven't eaten it yet. It's over there. It was all smashed up. Slim Jim. Now, I've had lots of these in there over time, and I've had them expire. In fact, I did some videos where I ate some. I don't think I ever uploaded those videos. I had a whole lot of the little ones, lots of them. They stuff in nicely. I had several of these. Well, I'll tell you, some of the little ones some were like 1 year, some were 2 years out of date, but they were still good. They were still greasy. I didn't get sick. I ate them and enjoyed them, but then I started replacing stuff. I go in here from time to time and change stuff. Now this here, this is 13 ounces of white rice. And I've also thrown into the top of this, once it's open, I've thrown in a bunch of herbs and spices and salt. And some of these herbs and spices are things where even if something could get into this, which is duct taped all the way around, and I always take my things like this, and before I ever package them, I'll put them in the freezer. Make sure there's no eggs of anything that might grow and cause you a problem later. So there's 13 ounces of rice. That'll make a lot of rice. Rice is a good staple. I got lots of things to go with it, including here's 14 ounces of lentil beans. Same thing. Left them in the freezer, sealed them up. And one good thing about these, I like to interview this girl I've mentioned before, and she said she loved to do it. She showed me how you can take lentil beans. You can do other beans too. I tried like black beans or kidney beans. They don't work so good. But these, you can just soak them in water and they will start sprouting. So you actually can get more food. Let's say if you have a semi-permanent campsite or permanent, you put some of these in water and just let them sit and they'll start sprouting and you'll get green sprouts with your seeds. So you'll get the good nutrition from that and you actually get more volume. Or you could easily plant them and grow more lentils, which is, yes, a good thing to do because I still have yet, other than a few seeds a friend of mine gave me the other day, I don't have seeds. And those lentil beans, of course. All right, what else we got here? This is a really nice spice blend I ran into. I went out, was going to get something, and this was a garlic and spice blend. And I'll tell you what, this is really good. It's got so much different stuff in it. It's got bits of carrots, bits of onions, bits of garlic, black pepper, all kinds of, and when you put it like in a soup or a stew, anything, once it liquefies, those things expand again, and you can actually, you can almost make a soup out of this. You can actually tell what's garlic, what's little pieces of carrot, and all that's in here. So it's really good spice blend I like. Been using it a lot. Shoot, I'm running out of it. Here's a bottle of vitamins. Now, I have some in the kitchen, 2 bottles. One that's just about empty. The other one, when that's empty, I'll open it. And what I'll do is I'll take these. This says 60, but this is a lot more than 60. I have this thing packed to the top. The other container has 200. I don't know that I want to carry that extra weight, but what I'll do is I'll take these and dump them into that container that I'm just finishing, and I'll put the fresher ones in here. I'll load it up with as many as it'll hold. because that's a good thing to have with you too. If you're out there, if you're really having to live, because I'm telling you, the last days are gonna be bad. When I do that video once again, that didn't come out to show you all the things the scriptures say about it, you'll understand why I'm doing what I do. Now this is a bunch of broccoli that I dried. This is all dehydrated broccoli. They'll smash much flatter. Ooh, and I need to repackage that. But that's what this is here. So some good, not fresh stuff, but stuff with its nutrition in it. Yeah, the label's in here. Broccoli. Looks like some kind of buds from something. But yeah, it's just dehydrated broccoli. I'm glad I caught that. That's why it's always good to check your preps from time to time, too. I'm glad that I have it many times. Here's a couple more energy type bars. You know, good for when you're on the go. Just need that little boost. Here's something that I take in and out of here from time to time. I'm always having to replace it. I had several. I don't know how many I got now. Doesn't look like much. But I have some in the kitchen, too, that I'm working on now. These instant mashed potatoes. You know, I prefer them with the flavors and stuff to them. But the place I was at didn't have the flavored ones. But these are nice. They're instant. Just add hot water. You know, I love them with some butter, maybe some garlic, maybe some cheese, whatever. But to take camping with you or for a bug out bag, these things, they do have a shelf life. I have eaten them that were very old. I'm not sure if I got that on video. It's videos y'all will probably never see anyway. But yeah, it was still good. Even though one of them did have a couple little lumps in the bag. You just had to work the lumps out. I'd have several bags that have a bunch of things in them. So now here's I had some hot sauce and I had a little bottle. Got me some hot sauce. Yeah, man. That can be helpful at times. Yeah, I miss it here. I don't have any more here because I'm trying to get everything set up so I can move out of here. I'm not trying to buy, and when I bought my hot sauce, I bought real big bottles. Just refill other bottles. Here's a bottle of Tang. Now, if you've seen in one of my other videos, I had some of this go bad once. Moisture got to it. I ended up using it up. Took me a lot to scrape it out of the bottle. This here seems to still be in pretty good shape. I do have fresh Tang in there. Who knows, maybe before I repack this, I'll use this up and change it out. This is something I take. It's very heavy. Peanut butter, and it's not for me, but I prefer the crunchy. That's why I have crunchy, because if I'm going to eat it, I prefer the crunchy. This is for catching game if I need to. This little jar of peanut butter can turn into a lot of squirrels and raccoons and other things. That's the main reason that I have this peanut butter in there. Yep, the squirrels love it. Other things love it. There's another bar I had stuffed in there. By the way, I got a couple of new ones in the kitchen. I'll have to take a couple of these out and replace them. Now in here, oh, I didn't realize it, but it's because they're so practical. This is more lentils that I did the same thing with. You know, froze them and everything. Another, I don't know how much this bag weighs, but that's what this is, more lentils. You know, you can make them with your rice. You can make them on their own. But the other thing is, like I said, you can just let them sprout, and you can eat them raw. They get soft. They have a nice green sprout. Very tasty, too. Yeah, they taste quite good when you do that. All right, let's get things a little closer here. What is this? Oh, this is just some pretzels. I probably won't put these back in. Me and the squirrels will probably eat these. They've been in there for a while anyway. I'm always getting nuts. I'll replace them with some fresher nuts. All right, speaking of that creamer I showed you. Now, when I got this one that was much better, I swapped out. I had some of the old stuff that took 3 tablespoons. So now this is the good stuff. And I'm not sure how this happened, but I filled a bottle of it. Now, these bottles hold about 20 teaspoons. And I put some in this bag. They shouldn't have both been in there. I think what was meant to happen was one of these probably is meant to go with my cooking kit, where I also have honey and coffee, you know, my pot for boiling in, my cooking stove, so all that's together. Because that's usually the first thing I do when I'm setting up camper in the morning, is make a cup of coffee, or sometimes an afternoon break even. I might cook lunch and may or may not have coffee. So anyway, one of these is probably going to come out of there. That's going to lighten the pack a couple ounces, but it's still going to go in with what I'm carrying overall. So it's not really going to lighten my load. I really hadn't expected too much here with the the food, but we'll see. Maybe I will. My main thing is I need to repackage it. As I mentioned in the last video, I put all this food into my sleeping bag compartment. That's the bottom compartment. And it's not carrying right. The weight, normally the weight sits on the hip belt a lot more. And what's happening with this, because it's below that hip belt, a lot of it, it's basically pulling on the bottom of the hip belt instead of its weight coming down and resting on it. And I can tell the hip belt just doesn't feel as good. All right, so what I'm going to do is put some other things in that compartment, probably food also, because it's very simple to get to. And then the other food will be packed higher and heavier things towards my back. So here's 4 packages of hot chocolate. I just finished one just a little while ago. Yeah, nice comfort food sitting around the fire. Of course, like I said, gotta have my coffee. World's second biggest commodity. If you want to save something for bartering in the last days, coffee would be one of them. But, wow, I'm surprised I don't have more in here. I'm going to have to do something about that. I have this. Like I say, this is enough for 20 cups of coffee. And in with my cook set, my pots and pans and my little stove, I pretty sure I have another one of these. And I have a small thing of honey. And these are both honey. You know, honey's really good for energy, you know, for sweetening things. You know, I've used it for medicine. It does work good for medicine. You know, it'll kill bacteria because what it does, when you put on the bacteria, if you've seen how honey dries in a bottle, when you put it on those bacteria, it sucks the moisture right out of them and kills them. That's how part of the reason that's working. Not to mention all the antibodies that the bees themselves put into there. All right, now right here, this will go a long way. I've been looking for them and I finally got them. I've been enjoying them. In fact, I had some yesterday. This is grits. I mean, it only takes you only have to add now unfortunately you do have to cook this. This isn't the instant type, but you only need about, man, if you put 3 tablespoons, you got a decent sized bowl. And I usually make it in a much bigger bowl. But this is a lot of servings here. It's not that heavy. As I mentioned before, I prefer storing my things in bottles and things that are more rectangular or square than round, because when you store them, you know, if they're square, they'll fit together better. If they're round, you got a lot of wasted airspace in there. So that's why I'm able to pack everything in here, because it's a lot of stuff. Now, this is a round bottle. This is something I put in here a long time ago. I maybe should take it out and use it. This, though, was like an energy drink. And I bought it. They had on some clothes out somewhere. And it was very good with water. You know, a lot of these with water, they just don't taste right. It tastes more like a Yahoo than a real chocolate milk. You know, where you need milk. No, this actually tastes very good with just water. It's good hot or cold. And the thing about this, it's just one of these things that's super loaded with vitamins and amino acids. I mean, it was very loaded. When I bought it, I was impressed. Unfortunately, they didn't have more when I went back. Another thing I carry in there is this corned beef. Now, I did have one of those big hams. Now, the ham, I believe, was 1 pound. This is only 12 ounces. But with that ham, you get a whole lot of fat. And the problem with that ham, once again, the shape of those cans, where it comes up, you know, it's kind of like they're rounded and get bigger at the bottom. They're hard to pack in there without wasting a lot of space. And when I looked, once again, at the nutritional value between this 12 ounces of corned beef, which I prefer anyway over the ham, you're doing a lot better off with the corned beef. So that's why I have this in here. Now, here, this is another thing that I switched to a while back, and I keep a lot of, and I switch it out from time to time. Beef jerky. Man, some of these are really good. I just bought one last week. I didn't want to put it in my bag. I'd never tried it before. I want to try it. Oh, yeah, it's worth it. Next time I get it, I'll get some, put it in the bag. It was turkey jerky. But once again, keep in mind, the expiration dates on jerky usually only have maybe a little more than a year. So, you know, if it's like my bag, which is set up, it's already, you know, for long term, then be sure to check out the dates on things from time to time. All right, now, here's a bag with all kinds of different goodies in it. And I actually have a list because at one point I went through and I weighed everything. That's how I knew I had 15.3 ounces. And what this has is 8 oatmeals in it. Has a bunch of dried cranberries. Has salt and pepper. Oh, and it has sugar and coffee. So yeah, this is set up for breakfast stuff. See, here's a pepper in here, in the straw. There's a salt like it right here, above my finger, inside there. There's the oatmeals. Over in this bag is coffee. No, that's the cranberry, so I can add to the oatmeal. And there's some coffee buried up in there somewhere. And sugar. So, that's like a breakfast packet. Like I say, I already have coffee in other places. Be dreading the day I run out. Alright, now here's a bag with a bunch more stuff in it. That's what I just took these 2 oatmeals out of. Because I don't think I've been into this bag in a while, other than I did take out a couple of these tuna fish creation things. So here, I got a couple of these. There's not that much in these. You know, let me see. Serving size, 1 pouch. 70 calories. Some of these, I've noticed, it's a little mushy. You know, it's different, actually, from when you get it in the can. Yeah. They repackage it, charge you more money, and give you lesser quality stuff, it seems like. Let's see, what else we got in here? Okay. This is the spiral pasta broccoli and cheesy cheddar sauce. Once again, very easy to make. You know, I can always add some of that meat to it. I can add some beef jerky to it. I could add some tuna fish to it. And it's set up so I can have meals, you know. It's not just all snacks. Here's a meal replacement bar. That probably came in one of my MREs. I've pretty much eaten all the MRE stuff. All right, here's another tuna creations in here. Lemon pepper. Oh yeah, this had a list of all the things that were in there. Unfortunately, it was faced the other way. So yeah, had 3 of the tuna creations. What else we got in here? Dried cherries. Another good thing to go with oatmeal, because there was also oatmeal in there. And actually, these look older than the 2 I took out. Those look fairly recent. I think I'm going to end up swapping these around. Eat those. Okay. Here's some olive oil. Now, I already have some that stays in with my cook kit. I have probably straws like what you saw there, larger straws, maybe 6 or 7 in there. And maybe some in a container too. But here I do have olive oil here. More bait. Some peanut butter. Okay. Boy, that's a lot of food already, isn't it? And let's see what else I got here. Shoot, the one package I didn't even see till everything was out. It was stuffed in the top. This is one of these like 72 or 96 hour things I got once for. Now I wrote what's in here. Now this alone weighs 1,500 grams. And it's way over 3. That's over 4 pounds. Oh, it's 3 1/4 plus pounds. But this has 4 chicken and rice. These are instant soups. 4 chicken and rice, 4 potato soups, a tuna can. So I have a small tuna can in here, and a pack 6 to 8 oatmeals. So more oatmeal. I have plenty of oatmeal, but that's easy to make. You know, give you that energy. It'll be somewhat of a breakfast staple, although I do have the grits, like I said. This also has 4 ounces of beef jerky in here, some more cranberry, and a 3-ounce bottle of olive oil. No wonder it was cement heavy. I didn't know I had all that stuff in there. Okay. But that's it. That's over 4 days food right in there. That's a good 5 days worth of food, maybe more, just with that. So like I said before, when I figured I had about 25 days worth of food in here. Now there's one more item. Let's see what we got. And let me double check, make sure that's it. Yeah, but like I said, I'm going to repack this stuff. And there are food items in with my cooking kit. Not major stuff, but there is stuff in there. All right, this is a bunch more jerky. And this isn't just the 1 pack. This is a couple of pounds of jerky right here. Because this jerky, you know, pound for pound, you're going to need to get protein out there unless you're doing a lot of hunting. and or fishing. And this is a very simple way to get it. You can eat it on the go. You can toss it in foods to flavor your foods. So yeah, I've switched from canned meats, which I did have a lot of, like tunas and things. Now the only canned food I have is this because it is good. It is very nutritious. I put it in there. And then I have the, like I say, the Star Kiss, but those are in full. And the rest of my meats are lots of beef jerkies. So that's it for my food kit, folks. You know, maybe get some ideas. I think the grits are great, the lentils, the rice, those things. Oh, wait a minute, there's stuff missing. Oh, yeah, put it in the kitchen. I have another container that's, it's a Nesquik container. It had like a milk chocolate. It's about this wide, shaped like that. And actually, it's the length of half of a spaghetti that comes in a box. Because in that, if you break the spaghettis in the middle, they fit in there perfect. And I have a box and a half of spaghettis in there because that's another very good survival food. You get energy and you get some vitamins and minerals from it. But one of the big things about it too, and I learned this from some little kids that were 4 and 5 years old, little Heaven and little Drew. I was kind of like their Uncle Raoul. Little mountain kids lived up in the mountains. But what their parents used to do, instead of giving them junk food to snack on, they could always go out and snack on spaghetti. Yeah, and they got me doing it. Yeah, you don't have to cook it. You can go around, just crunch on it, as you're hiking along or whatever you're doing. Crunch on a little. It takes a while to soften up and chew up, but heck, you get your energy from it, and it is high in energy. So you get a lot of food for that too. So that's why I have that. I have a bunch of spaghetti there. 2 things of lentils, the rice, the mashed potatoes, the tuna. Let me see if I can get this up there. See if you get a look at it laid out there. I don't. My camera on the phone is just totally filled up, so I can't use that to do anything. But as you can see, that's a lot of food I'm carrying, including this bag with all those days of food. And there was still room in that bottom pouch. I'm not trying to really put in more weight. See what I can do. I did just buy some more beef jerky the other day. So, and it's pretty tasty. It came in a 5-pack thing, a samples like, and I kind of like it. So I may take some that's in here out and add some of that. Because like I say, these things, I have had them about 2 years over their expiration date, and they were fine. All right, now I'm glad I got all this out so I can repack it. Doesn't look like that much to me now, but I'll consider it again as I repack it. I may or may not add some things. We'll see. But make sure you're prepped. Make sure you're ready. Hey, look at all these people with these fires out here in California now. These people, if they had a bug out bag like mine, they could go off and stay in camp until the fire's over and then come back and see if their house is burned down or not. Now, these people happen and they scurried to try to get a few valuables, and some of them are roughing it. There's a lot of people now, they've had to go buy tents and do other things. They're camping out in parking lots and things. Yeah, it's really rough on those people there in California. All right, folks. That's all I got to say for now. I'm glad I got this out of the way because I'm trying to finish up with things with this bag, get back to other things once again. And I still want to do the first aid kit because I did look through it. And I'm sure I'll be able to remove maybe 2 or 3 ounces just from that. And one other thing that I did remove besides that bag that I found, there's a carabiner inside of my bag that holds up my water bladder. Well, I didn't need that big one that was in there. I took out that and put in a smaller one. So that was another tiny savings. Like I say, I'm gramming everything. And this is some of the clothing that I pulled out that was hanging there. And I'd only worn this once when I first got it. This was something ordered in the mail. And then washed it. Seemed to be fine. But I noticed a couple loose threads. I haven't now, but when I first got it, and again when I pulled it out. Not inspected. It seems okay. It's very lightweight. I mean, this thing, the top and the pants weigh, I think it's a little less than the cargo pants that I really like. Of course, this would be much cooler though too. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a lot of pockets, but I figured I'm going to wear it some, wash it again and check, because it seemed like it shrank a little. The sleeves could use about another inch. You see, on the sleeves, it fits me a little snug. It's very comfortable. It's a great hoodie. You know, it'll come up and zip up right up to my nose here. Perfect for sleeping. And I can pull the hoodie tight to where it's just an opening here. But, so I kind of like it because it is lightweight. It packs real small. I'm still going to do things to lighten my other clothes. But these, I just want to be sure that they're durable. That's another thing. If you're going to go out there and know you're going to be gone, take durable clothing. Yeah, don't take something you'd wear to the ball. Take something that's going to last you. Remember, the tribulation will be 3.5 years. Now, God does say some things in the Bible, like he did for them when they left Egypt, about keeping your clothes from wearing out. And I think he's going to be the one doing it. But just in case, that's one of the reasons I have duct tape. Heck, if I should blow my shoes or tear something, and I have needle and thread. And speaking of duct tape, I just had to buy more last week. I wrapped a bunch around the card, and now I don't know where in my bags it is. I'll have to find it. Once I start repacking everything now, and I did change a lot of things too to save some space, to make things more convenient. So I'll be happier. It's just unfortunately, like I said, I got to move all this food weight and redistribute that in a different part of the pack and put some other bulkier, lighter items in that very bottom. All right, folks, hope you got something from this. If you're not prepared, get there. You still got time, but you better be doing it. All right, folks, later.